All right. The last few months I've been spending a lot of time thinking about TTL, the content that we put out, the content that we have put out in the past, and what I want to do with it moving forward, specifically on YouTube. Paula is embarking on a very big thing this year, considering doing her first Ironman, trying to decide whether or not how much to do of T100 racing versus 70.3's Ironmans. So it's going to be a really interesting year, and I'm just hoping through each of us, maybe individually, even sitting down and talking to the camera, to storytell that and share that extremely openly. So we'll see. This is a little bit of an experiment of going back to the way things used to be. To me, TTL is much, much bigger than just YouTube. That's how it started. But we have a podcast, we have a development team now, we have Instagram that allows us to share photos and so many aspects to the whole thing that the YouTube is admittedly the first part, but only one of the parts. But it's the parts that is closest to my heart. So how do I continue to evolve this video communication tool that we have, this video communication outlet, and but have it be sustainable long term? I think I've put out something like 200 videos on YouTube now, and more and more over the last year I found myself wanting to make things that were a little bit more artistic, a little bit higher quality, and flex my creative muscles in that sort of space, to just even show myself that I could put out stuff that was a little bit more than a vlog. I've enjoyed that and I want to keep doing that, but also I want to still continue to create things that I feel like can connect on a more frequent basis. So it's a new year, spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I think I'm going to try using this sort of a method of sitting down and talking to the camera. I'm hoping I can get Paula in here to talk to the camera, maybe just on her own at some points of time, and lace that in with shots of doing what we love. So, spring is going to be very interesting for us. I am currently training for the Black Canyon's 50K. The 100K is the bigger event, but the 50K is more approachable for me. And something that I haven't done any talking about yet is my hip. Ever since I did the Smith Rock 50K, my hip, which I've had a torn labrum in it, left hip since trying to qualify for the Olympic team in 2016. And I've just kind of worked through it with physical therapy, and I should say limped it along ever since then. But more and more it hurts every single day, harder to sleep, and obviously impacts my athleticism.
All right, I'm on my way to my first physical therapy appointment in Bend. I was kind of hoping that Nick would come with me, but our 150th episode of the podcast ran a little bit long, and I just need to get there and not be late. So it's, I don't know, this is kind of a big step for me, and mostly because the surgery consultation that I booked is so far out. I feel like I need to work on this in the meantime, so maybe at some point I'll have some footage of what I'm doing.
Across your body, you're going to go big toe up, and you're going to push down and away on your thigh. So knees coming up and to the right, you're pushing down and to the left. You're going to tuck your chin a little bit. You want to make sure your pelvis is slightly elevated in the air.
Makes it very hard to run up and downhill. Leg goes numb on the bike. Absolutely don't feel like I can ride a TT bike effectively anymore. And I'm going to go through the process of seeing a surgeon and getting another consultation on that. So see what they have to say. But both of those things are a fairly long timeline. So in the meantime, I'm going to train for Black Canyons as well as I can, kind of make a decision pretty late on whether or not I'm going to race that. Really good meeting last night with PT. I don't know, sometimes you just get a good feeling. I feel like almost like I got a new coach in terms of the level of engagement, and best takeaway is that there's a lot going on besides just my labrum. Might have just like initiated there, but he's feeling good about being able to make some positive changes. You know, whether or not I get surgery which is exactly what I was hoping for. So hopefully get some imaging soon, and hopefully get my consultation with the surgeon moved up more than 2 months from now. I'm just going to keep training.
All right, what we are about to do, we're headed out to a trailhead called Aston, which has a convenient 10-mile outer loop. From what I can tell, the trail type is pretty similar to the topography and style and everything of Black Canyon. So what I'm doing for training right now is kind of a lot of build runs and then some sort of broken tempos. This is going to be a build run, 80 minutes going down to 354 k. There is a KOM for the 10-mile loop, which is at 4:01 per kilometer, so that works out pretty perfectly. It's an extra little funness. Okay, 8 minutes in, done about 2k. Feel like a 4:30, 4:15 warm up. Now heading up to the trailhead junction. From that point on, I pretty much just need to run sub 4 minutes per K. The whole loop only has about 70 meters of elevation gain on it, so it's pretty fast. Just like kind of how here Black Canyon is supposed to be. In 4:02 average pace, 4:02 average grade adjusted pace. Started out with a bit of an uphill, probably about a 15-second spread between gap, grade adjusted pace, and average pace, but then it flattened out. So second 10 minutes was 3:56 grade adjusted pace, 4 flat actual pace. So we were going up a little bit on that one. I like doing the average pace per lap because you just get less wrapped up in GPS drift or anything weird with the watch. Okay, split number 4, pretty much completely flat, so 3:51 average, 1.3k to go, and got about 5 minutes. $1:14 plus my 8-minute warm up, so I think that's about 1 minute under the time. Whew. Okay, I still got 6 more minutes of running at this pace though for the work. Hey, good boy. Good boy, good boy. Hey, I'm done. I think so. Even with an emergency bathroom break. Is that on camera?
All right. It's a little dark, but you know, what are you gonna do? All right, currently running around in the garage. I got Paula set up on the trainer. She feels like she wants to go back to the small shiv from the extra small shiv. So right now we have an extra small shiv and a small shiv set up in the garage for her to test.
Reason being, she wants to go a little higher in the front end, potentially have a little bit more room to go further out. The other thing that we got in from Specialized is a seat post for the Shiv TT that is in a forward position. So she can get in a steeper position here and go probably 2.5 centimeters further forward. I think this is partly because UCI Worlds is in South Africa this year. There's a much lower chance that she's going to do UCI Worlds. And she's considering doing the Ironman. And both of those things combined sort of push us away from the direction of having that UCI legal position that can also be used in triathlons, and into just like, okay, what happens if we just go on like full on triathlon position, forget about UCI legal, and at least play around with that a little bit early season. See if there's more power, more comfort, etc. And ultimately try to get to the wind tunnel to test that. So this is not being driven by me. This is all for her to test and play around with.
Well, lie down.
How did it feel?
The bike fit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt fine. I haven't ridden a CT bike for a month, so it's hard to like compare directly. But our idea is that last year I just kind of kept the UCI position and rode it for all the triathlons because it was comfortable. I knew it was fast. I liked it, and I was, technically comfortable with it too. But then I came to realize towards the end of the year that I think I could be more comfortable and not necessarily more aero, but just more appropriate fit for like a 2-hour race versus a 35-40 minute race. Switched back to a small frame from an extra small. Had that 2 years ago, and I liked it. And I think with the small frame, I can get a little bit more reach. Playing with the adjustable watch shot mounts that slide back and forth, tilt, and they're actually sending us even newer ones that can tilt even more. They have these new arm cups they're sending me that are a little bit narrower, which I have been wanting. Yeah, we're willing to help me through it, so that's what we're doing.
Would this be helpful if you're doing an Ironman too?
Yeah, that's kind of what spurred the thinking was, okay, this position is super fast for 30K time trial. I can get by for an 80K with it. But if I'm going to do an Ironman, I think I need to be up a little bit more and stretched out a little bit more just to be comfortable to ride for 4 hours. I've never done that in time trial position, and then be able to run so long off the bike. It's just a completely different sport than UCI time trial racing. So the nice thing of having my extra small Shiv set up the way it is and how I raced it in Taupo is that we can always go back to that. We know those dimensions. I know I love that fit. And then we have the small Shiv with another set of watch shot bars to tinker with and try to find something that's comfortable and tests the same in terms of aerodynamics, or at least similar. Very spoiled.
All right, well, that was January 5th. It's now January 6th. So now I'm working on the next video that you'll see, hopefully after this, the Broken Top FKT video, which was the biggest goal that I was working on the back half of last year, with the exception of doing a 50K. Bike up to the wilderness boundary of Broken Top Mountain from town here in Bend, run to the summit and back down, mountain bike all the way back into town. That's pretty much the coolest multi-sport related thing, and something I want to do a lot more of next year, so really hope you watch that and I hope you enjoy it. Been putting a lot into it.
Bye!